In 2025, a musician quietly wrote a check for $360 million to buy back something that was already hers. Her own songs, her own voice, her own life's work. That musician is Taylor Swift. And the fact that she could write that check from her own pocket tells you everything about what she's built. A $1.6 billion fortune created without a fashion line or cosmetics brand. Just music, nothing else. But here's what makes her story truly different. Most billionaires collect assets. Taylor Swift collects chapters. Every property she owns has a story. Every purchase has a meaning. And the way she spends her fortune will change how you see celebrity luxury forever. The numbers will shock you, but the reasons behind them will shock you even more. It starts with the engine that powered everything. Taylor Swift's $1.6 billion net worth makes her the wealthiest female musician in history. But what makes it unique is how she built it. No fashion line, no cosmetics brand, no tech investments. Every dollar traces back to music alone. The biggest engine was the Eras Tour. 149 shows, 5 continents, $2.08 billion in revenue. The first tour to ever cross $1 billion, then $2 billion. Economists called it Swiftonomics because her tour alone shifted national economic indicators. But what she did with the most emotional portion of that fortune defines her more than any mansion ever could. In 2019, Swift's original masters were sold without her knowledge to Scooter Braun. The recordings she made as a teenager were now owned by someone else. Her response was extraordinary. She re-recorded her albums as the Taylor's Version series, releasing 4 between 2021 and 2023. But the re-recordings were always a bridge to something bigger. In 2025, she purchased back her original masters from Shamrock Capital for approximately $360 million. She said she had been actively saving up for this since I was a teenager. Music analysts now value that catalog at approximately $500 million. Most billionaires spend $360 million on yachts or investment portfolios. Swift spent it on her own songs because for her, music isn't a product, it's her identity. But the physical world she's built around her life is where this story gets truly extraordinary. In Tribeca, Taylor Swift doesn't own one property. She owns 4 interconnected units merged into a single private compound. $42 million in combined purchases, $500,000 more in custom renovations she personally directed. 4 stories, one sprawling home hidden inside one of America's most densely populated neighborhoods. But here's what makes it significant. This is where she wrote Reputation in isolation during the most painful period of her public life. The walls that cost $42 million also protected her creativity while she disappeared from the world. Most celebrities buy a penthouse and call it a statement. Swift built a private compound where she could work, live, and write without the world watching. But on a windswept promontory overlooking the Atlantic sites a home whose history became one of the most acclaimed songs of her career. In Rhode Island's Watch Hill sits an 11,700 square foot mansion Swift purchased for $17.75 million in cash. 7 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms, 8 fireplaces, a private beach. But the house carried a story far older than Swift. Its previous owner was Rebecca Harkness, an oil heiress who scandalized the town in the 1960s. Swift discovered her story and transformed it into the last great American dynasty on Folklore. The song was so historically precise that Google searches for Harkness spiked the week it released. Most billionaires call this a vacation home. Swift called it a song. But in Beverly Hills, she found a property so significant, she fought to protect it from ever being changed. Her Beverly Hills estate cost $25 million, a Georgian revival mansion built in 1934 for MGM co-founder Samuel Goldwyn. Most billionaires renovate historic properties beyond recognition. Swift did the opposite. In 2017, she petitioned Beverly Hills to designate it as a historic landmark. A billionaire who fights to protect her own home from change. That tells you everything about her relationship with luxury. But the city where her career began holds the most personal chapter of this story. In Nashville, Swift still owns 2 properties connecting her to where it all began. A condo in the Adelicia building purchased at just 20 years old, her first major purchase. And Northumberland House, a Greek revival estate bought in 2011 for $2.5 million. This is where she transitioned from country star to global superstar. Swift has never sold either Nashville property. While Tribeca, Beverly Hills, and Watch Hill represent chapters she's lived since, Nashville represents where she started. For her, real estate isn't about the price tag, it's about the memory. But how she moves between these homes is where her lifestyle takes flight in the most literal sense. Taylor Swift operates a Dassault Falcon 7X valued at approximately $54 million with transatlantic range. For her, the jet isn't about luxury, it's about security and schedule as the most recognizable entertainer on Earth. Her aviation use became controversial in 2022 when flight logs went public. Critics debated carbon emissions. Her team noted the jet is often loaned to others. But regardless, the Falcon 7X connects every chapter of her real estate portfolio. What she wears when she arrives has become its own cultural phenomenon. In 2024 and 2025, Swift's off-duty wardrobe aligned almost exclusively with Louis Vuitton. Individual outfit values range from $11,660 to $12,520 per appearance. Taylor Swift's jewelry isn't from the biggest brands. Her engagement ring was custom designed by Kindred Lubeck, featuring an old mine diamond in an engraved gold band. She stacks a Cartier Love bracelet with a 100 Ways diamond bangle. Her choices are deliberate, not the most expensive, but the most meaningful. Her car collection is the same: a Porsche 911 Turbo, a Range Rover, a vintage Cadillac Escalade kept for sentimental reasons, modest by billionaire standards, no hypercar fleet, a custom ring from an independent jeweler instead of Tiffany. That restraint says more about who she is than any mansion ever could. When you step back, a pattern emerges. The $42 million Tribeca compound, the $17.75 million Watch Hill mansion, the $25 million Beverly Hills landmark. Every purchase is simultaneously a home and a creative workspace. The Rhode Island mansion became the last great American dynasty. Cornelia Street became Cornelia Street. Tribeca is where reputation was written in isolation. Her real estate portfolio isn't expensive addresses. The real estate was funded by albums, the jet by tours, the buyback by the woman who insisted on owning her own work. Her luxury isn't separate from her art. It is her art. Every home is a chapter. Every purchase tells a story. Taylor Swift's lifestyle is composed the same way her songs are, with meaning in every detail. From a Christmas tree farm to $1.6 billion built entirely from songs. Every home became a creative workspace. Every address a chapter in her life. Taylor Swift's luxury lifestyle isn't just wealth. It's the most intentional, personal, and creatively connected celebrity lifestyle in the world. Which part impressed you most? The $42 million Tribeca compound? The Watch Hill mansion that became a song? The $360 million buyback? Drop your answer in the comments. Subscribe and like so we keep bringing you stories like this.